Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Anarchy Online. Some of you might recognize this tree as where I recorded episode 0, which is actually the last thing I recorded. So what happened was I accidentally had changed some settings, or forgot to change settings in my recording software, and it turns out I recorded the whole first 15 episodes of this Let's Play in 480p in terrible quality. I know, it's awful, right? 480p. Now, the truth is, like this game, obviously I'm playing it and it's running in 1080p. But you know, 1080p wasn't around when this game came out, right? So, I mean, you know, you weren't losing out on that much quality, let's be honest, right? But still, you know, I feel bad. And I think especially for the text, might have been hard to read. The truth is I rarely watch content in 1080p because my connection isn't that good. So often it just auto rescales to 480p, and I've never, you know, I'm not the kind of person who cares a lot about that, but I totally understand that a lot of viewers are, you know, want to have a high quality experience. So my bad. I really hope that didn't turn a lot of people off. Hopefully now that I've put the episode 0 video up explaining the situation, people will kind of realize that the quality will get better. So anyways, starting from now, of course, all the video will be in 1080p. So my bad. In the last episode, we had made a little mistake in terms of our planning for the fixer nanos we were going to use. But that wasn't a big deal. And then we rolled a few missions for a few nanos. I have since done those missions. So I now have, let's see. So I have several of these nanos. We have, there were basically some adventure nanos. Now, here, and also I've gotten like enhanced senses, which is going to be, which I'm surprised that I can cast that. Maybe, why can't I cast that? Do I have a huge buff going on? No, maybe I'm just that awesome. Yeah, I guess maybe I was in false profession when I tried to cast it earlier, and that's why it didn't work. So, the plan now, let's see, there's a few things that I wanted to talk to you guys about as I start playing here. So the initial plan for today is, so today's a new day. In fact, this is 2 days later in real life. So the daily missions have reset. So I've taken the subway mission again, and we're going to go run through that quickly to get some amazing experience. So here's the thing. The weapon that I'm using right now is, you know, great for its level. In fact, it's so good that if I were to try to get a weapon, like a standard Rubica weapon, and for example, a good example of a rifle that are good for agents would be like a caterwaul, is a kind of weapon. Why aren't we loading? Mystery. Okay, we finally appeared. I guess the connection wasn't so good there for a minute. Anyways, a very good weapon choice that is easy because it's easy to get because you can roll it from missions is called the caterwaul. If I were to roll a mission at the maximum level, which for me currently I'm level 22, so if we tell HelpBot level 22, I can roll a level 38 mission. A level 38 caterwaul is, in terms of skill, we could equip for sure. In fact, we could equip a much higher weapon, but how do we get the higher weapon? Normally, of course, I'd just send one from my alt, but we're trying to be like, play this solo, you know, not kind of exploit pre-existing characters. A 38 level caterwaul is not better than the current weapon that I have, even though we've had this weapon since like level 15 or something, right? We've been able to equip it for a long time. All right, I'm just running around in circles here. I'm looking for the subway. So that puts us in an awkward place, right? Also, another place we might get weapons is if we did an alien daily mission, maybe we would have a chance of a alien rifle dropping, but that's a very low possibility. But the thing is, we're not really getting any better at killing stuff until we actually upgrade our weapon. So my plans in terms of weapon upgrades are basically going to be trying to roll missions for Caterwalls at, the highest level missions I can for Caterwalls. It's just that isn't going to be a huge upgrade if I do it right now. So probably I'm going to wait till I level a few more levels. If I do, for example, let's see, help bot. Like if I was level 25, and let's start. I don't have time to, whatever. So already at level 25, even though it's only 3 more levels, I would be able to roll a level 44 Caterwall. And that might be something worth considering, right? So what I'm going to do is probably gain a few levels and then try to upgrade my weapon with a Caterwall. Other options, by the way, for rifles, there's a weapon commonly it's called the X3. It is only available from team mission bosses and Dyna bosses in the world, so it's a bit harder to get your hands on. So yeah, that's a bit trickier. There is a crafted weapon called a Perennium Sniper, and that is really a fantastic weapon, and I would like to try to get one. You could just buy one sort of from the market, but it costs... Oh, what am I doing? I've got to kill the guys for the mission. I completely skipped over them. Well, maybe I can get some of them here. I completely skipped over these guys. No, because I got to get the Stim Fiends. They're all the way back up there. Silly me. I was trying to multitask, and look where it got me. By the way, I should probably get my buffs on. Yeah, so a Perennium Sniper Rifle is a fantastic weapon. In order to craft it, you need components that you get from the Shadowlands, from killing hecklers. You also need one component that is pretty tricky to get, or I guess it's pretty rare. So I don't know how realistic it's going to be to get that weapon going. If I can, though, it'd be really fantastic because it's a great
weapon,
and you can craft it at many different quality levels. So yeah, we'll see if we're able to pull that off. If not, we'll just have we'll just try to make do with Caterwalls basically until we can find money somehow, and with that money, maybe we can get a Perennium Sniper. So yeah, so upgrading the weapons is going to be very important. What do we need next? Muggers. Well, they've been attacking me. It shouldn't be too hard to find a few. The other thing is I've been doing a bit more research just by looking at the different professions, nanos and whatnot, into what would make reasonable... Oh, rubber band. What would be some good... What are my next priorities going to be in terms of nanos and false professions, right? So currently we have the Fixer false profession, which I will keep using because... Wait, actually, I'm not running it now. I should, because I've got nothing better to be running. So again, the Fixer gives us a small heal over time, and it gives us run speed, and it gives us a small damage boost. So some of you might be wondering, so that sounds good, so why was I even thinking about doing the adventure? And the main reason I wanted to do the adventure is because the transform that it gives us is going to make life easier when we need to run to missions, because we can fly as Zarit, and that is just going to make it really safe for us to find missions. Already I've actually died a couple of times on this character off camera because I was going to a mission, and that mission was surrounded by really dangerous mobs that could basically one-shot me, and I wasn't careful, and I got killed. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, there are actually vehicles in this game, and in fact there are flying vehicles in this game. Here are the muggers. Now, in order to get one of those vehicles, the lowest quality level flying vehicle requires 81 vehicle air. Now, I have no IP to spend, nor should you spend IP in vehicle air. The easiest way to get this to 81 is to just make a cheap set of implants. I don't even know why I'm looting this guy that has nothing to give me. Is to make a cheap set of implants which will boost your vehicle air to 81. And you can easily do this in this level range, right? Level 20, where it's easy to get. Actually, unfortunately, I think it conflicts with some of the agent implants that we want, because I think one of them goes in the eye slot, and we're using eye for rifle, which most other professions don't use. Even so, so that's challenge number 1, is get the skill to use that vehicle. Now, we could circumvent that theoretically by making implants, although we don't have a lot of money for implants. I mean, I guess it would be doable, but it would be a pain. Next, there is the cost. So you can buy that vehicle. Again, the lowest quality level is what do we need next? Stim Fiends. The lowest quality level will require 81 vehicle what it's called vehicle air, sorry. It costs 4 million credits, which we don't have. However, I'm a paid subscriber, and you get like veteran points for subscribing, and so you can buy one of them for 1 point, basically. So basically on all your characters, if you've got a paid account, it's pretty easy to afford these. So that's my plan. That's what I would have done. I would have just bought it. In fact, that's what I've done on all my characters, is bought this flying ship. And to be honest, that's exactly what I plan on doing later on. But I don't want to go through the hassle and the trouble of getting my implants set up so that I can actually equip that flying vehicle. So instead, I'm going to rely on False Profession Adventure. So finally, I've closed all those parentheses and I've come back to my original topic, which was why are we using False Profession Adventure? It's because it will give me access to a way to get safely to missions. Now, in addition, the Adventure of False Profession is actually not terrible for fighting. One of the transforms, again, I'm talking only at the very low level, but Pronouncement of Greatness is the transform that turns you into the little leet creature, and you get a small crit chance buff, which is nice. And in addition, you have a C buff, a shield buff, and you have heals, right? Which are, and also even run speed buffs, I think, at this level, although I don't remember for sure. But, having heals is basically, is what we're looking for here, right? We need some more survivability. So actually, it's a solid False Profession, I think, for us at this point. Generally, at a low level as an agent, what you're looking for in a False Profession, remember, the nano cost is going to be prohibitive for a lot of things, right? You won't be able to spam nanos. So, for example, Nanotechnician, which is like a mage or a wizard, is like completely useless, right? Because there's no way you're gonna have the nano pool to make that useful. So you basically want a class that's giving you good buffs is the most important thing. And if it can give you heals, then that's great also. So based on that, you guys might be wondering why I was so excited about going Metaphysicist. Trader is a special thing. Trader we want because it's going to allow us to equip special weapons. More powerful weapons, right? Because of the drains. So that's a special condition. Metaphysicist does have a healing pet, but Metaphysicists have buffs that buff your nano skills by a lot. And so, as a Metaphysicist, you can, even though you're taking a penalty to your nano skills from the False Profession, you can more than make up for that. I guess we're going to loot these random things. You can more than make up for that by buffing your... I guess there's a door here. Yeah. You can more than make up for it by buffing your nano skills through the metaphysicist buff. Now, of course, you could just ask another metaphysicist to buff you, but, you know, you don't always have people, you know, just floating around. It's a pain to get the buffs, and it's nicer if you can cast them yourselves. Also, you know, you can buff yourself in one false profession, and then when that false profession wears off, you still have the buffs, and then you could go into another false profession and do cool things with your higher nano skills that you got from metaphysicist, right? So anyway, so long story short, metaphysicist is definitely worth it because higher nano skills are going to allow us to do everything better, right? Just get better nanos from other false professions, or just use better agent nanos. So those are the main ones that I wanted to address, right? So Trader eventually we want to get because we want the drains so that we can equip weapons. Obviously, I'm going to keep building my repertoire of Fixer nanos because we're probably going to spend a lot of time in Fixer False Profession. Adventure we're probably going to use for a while just because I think it'll be convenient if we ever do sort of outdoor exploration. And yeah, Metaphysicist will be, well, I'm sure is going to come in handy. I think those are the main ones that I'm going to rely on for now. Doctor is also another good choice. Doctor is good. It's actually good in group content. If you don't have another healer, then you can kind of be a bad doctor. It's very good if you're trying to solo very difficult mobs, right? Because the doctor heals are definitely better than the adventurer heals. Even though, again, we're very inefficient because our nano costs are so high. You know, the doctor heals are still very strong. Plus you have heal over times, and you have, like, dots. Like, doctors have their own whole toolkit that makes them very good at taking out tough enemies, right? Because doctors are, like, impossible to kill. The only thing is doctors aren't good at dealing a lot of damage, but we're agents, right? So we've hopefully got that damage covered with our rifle skills. So doctor is always going to be a strong option, but I think I might hold off on fully going doctor until I get you know, quite a few more levels and a bit more. Like, we might do that in the 50s and 60s or something. For example, if we're going to try to take on hecklers, if we try to solo hecklers, that might involve us being doctors at some point. Hecklers are mobs in the Shadowlands, which are often farmed for experience. Okay, it looks like somebody has just been through here. I'm looking for neural burnouts for the mission. By the way, what is my research percentage? It's set at 70%. Yeah, so I just basically have come down here to do a quick run through just to get the team, just to get like the team missions worth. I'm just gonna go back to the beginning and wait for them to respawn, I think. So I've just come here. I'm gonna do the subway mission. I don't even think, I mean, if I find a team, I might see if I can farm the bosses and see if I can get the Ring of the Nucleus Basilisk. But if I can't get it right now, it's not the end of the world. I'm not doing another Alien Daily just because until I get to level 25, I'm capped on my Alien experience anyways, so there's kind of no point. So once I do the daily here, instead of continuing to farm the subway for experience, which I find is boring, I'm going to just roll up some more missions for more nanos, and hopefully kind of keep building up our collection of nanos. You know, again, if you already have another character that has a few 100,000 credits, right? You just send those credits to your alt, right, to your agent or whatever, and you can just buy all the nanos, right? And you're saving a lot of time. But I want to kind of give this playthrough. I want to play it as if, you know, just as if this was the first character you were ever making in Anarchy Online. So I don't want to play this as if I had access to all of those resources. Just to give you the more authentic experience. Although, to be fair, an authentic experience would probably involve you getting some money from somebody at some point. But, you know, I like making things a little more challenging. Okay, I don't know if I've actually shown these neural burnouts before. I think when I recorded this first time I was in the subway, I had skipped this part. And then I joined a team and we were just mowing through everything. So these neural burnouts actually do quite a bit of damage because they're sort of an NT or nanotechnician mob, so they nuke you quite hard. So careful if you come here at a lower level. They might surprise you. If any of them would deign to show their face, then we could actually fight them. Still got to unload all of this. Apparently I did not unload anything. Yeah, so we have our false profession adventurer. Oh, interestingly enough, like now I'm in FP Fixer, so because I'm a fixer, I can't load agent nanos because it thinks I'm a fixer, right? So, interesting thing to keep in mind. Oh, can I? This is the next run speed buff. I need 159 SI. Am I close? Not quite. 134. Not quite there yet. Maybe a few more levels. Something here has respawned. Oh, might be something upstairs. Yeah, so, I'd be curious. I mean, I know that certainly at this point, very few people have watched these videos. Both because, like, nobody, I mean, there isn't a lot of Anarchy Online content on YouTube, I realize. And there's no reason people would have randomly stumbled upon my channel. But if you have watched the videos so far, I would love to hear from you. Oh, here's the neural burnouts. I'd love to hear from you because, like, I've been recording these sort of under the assumption that A, there isn't much in terms of Anarchy Online content, and there isn't much that was specifically geared towards people who had never played the game before. And so I'm trying to make this as sort of friendly an experience for those people who haven't played the game before and so who aren't familiar with a lot of the references. And the truth is although I've played the game before, I don't know a lot of what happens at the higher levels because either I forget a lot of the stuff, and also honestly at the time I didn't really play much at the high levels. I don't even remember how high level I made my original characters, but I never really did much of the end game, so I'll be discovering a lot of that along with you once we get to the higher levels. But I do have a fairly solid understanding of sort of the game mechanics, and so I can kind of explain to you in a general sense what this game is about. And it is quite different than other MMOs, right? Just the whole way that you're trying to equip equipment and whatnot does definitely play quite differently. So I hope that this that you find this series useful, and I hope that it is enjoyable and entertaining, certainly. So yeah, so let me know if it's helpful or if there's other stuff that you'd like to cover or understand better. So I think we're going to wrap up this episode shortly. I'm going to finish killing these ruffians in the subway. Here's the neural burnout. I'm gonna wrap up this mission in the subway, and then probably off camera I'll roll a few more missions and catch up with you after that. There's our level. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.